Your resume format is about to become obsolete. And if you don't update it in the next 6 months, you'll be invisible to 83% of companies. Listen, I know you've spent hours perfecting your resume. You've got the clean format, the bullet points, the chronological work history. It looks professional. It looks exactly like everyone else's. And that's the problem. Because in 2026, the rules are changing faster than ever before. And the resumes that worked in 2024 are already getting rejected before humans even see them. You've probably seen it happening. You apply to 50 jobs with your super polished resume and nothing. Meanwhile, it seems like everyone else is landing interviews left and right. What do they know that you don't? They've adapted to the new rules. They understand that in 2026, you're not just competing against other candidates, you're competing against AI screening systems, skills-based algorithms, and a completely transformed hiring market. Here's what most career advice gets wrong. They tell you to optimize your resume without explaining the entire system has changed. It's like they're teaching you to write better telegraph messages when everyone else has moved to email. The old belief was a good resume gets you noticed. The new reality, a good resume gets you past the initial screeners first, then it gets you noticed by humans. I've spent the last 3 months analyzing very specific hiring data from thousands of companies, studying AI screening patterns that favor certain formats 85% of the time, and tracking exactly what's working right now for job seekers who are actually landing offers. What I found will completely change how you think about your resume. Today, I'm breaking down the 5 biggest changes coming to resumes in 2026. Changes that are already happening right now. We'll cover why 83% of companies have switched to AI screening, how the skills-based revolution is killing degree requirements, what portfolio integration really means, why numbers are now non-negotiable, and how to use AI without sounding like everybody else. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to change on your resume to stand out in this new hiring world. Let's get into it. All right, let's talk about the biggest shift that's already rewriting the rules: AI screening. By 2026, 83% of companies will use AI to screen your resume before any human being lays eyes on it. Not some companies, not large corporations only, 83%. That's based on Resume Builder's survey of nearly 1,000 business leaders conducted in late 2024. But here's what makes this even more critical. 99% of Fortune 500 companies already use some form of automated screening. So if you're applying to any established company, your resume is being judged by an algorithm first. Think about that. The carefully crafted opening statement you wrote, the personality you tried to convey, none of that matters if the AI scores you too low to pass through. And the worst part, you have no idea what score you're getting or why you're being rejected, which is exactly why I built a free analyzer at resumeassassin.com that scans your resume against any job description, gives you an actual ATS score, and it shows you the 5 specific things holding you back right now. So why is this happening? Picture a hiring manager at a mid-sized tech company. 3 years ago, they'd post a job and get maybe 50 to 75 applications. Manageable. They could spend 10 minutes on each resume, get a real feel for candidates. Now, the same job posting gets 500 to 1,000 applications. Thanks to remote work and sites like LinkedIn, people from across the country, even across the globe, are applying. Do the math. If they're spending even 2 to 3 minutes per resume for 500 applications, that's over 16 hours just for the first screening of one role. And they're hiring for multiple positions. It's mathematically impossible without automation. So, what do you actually do about this? There are 3 specific strategies. Strategy 1 is strategic keyword optimization. And this is not about keyword stuffing. AI systems in 2025 are sophisticated enough to penalize that. Instead, you need to mirror the language in the job description naturally. If they say project management, don't write oversaw initiatives. If they want Python proficiency, don't say coding skills. Use the exact terminology, but weave it into real achievements. Strategy 2, ATS-friendly formatting. Okay, this means standard font. So think Arial, Calibri, Times New Roman. No fancy scripts, clear section headers, work experience, not my journey. No text boxes, tables, or columns that confusing parsing software. Always save as docx or PDF and test which the company actually prefers. Use bullet points, not paragraphs, and always leave plenty of white space. Strategy 3, quantify everything. AI systems rank candidates partially on specificity. The University of Washington study found that resumes with measurable achievements scored 40% higher in AI screenings. Every bullet point needs a number, every single one. Not improved customer satisfaction. Yes, increased customer satisfaction scores from 3.8 to 4.6. 21% improvement through implementation of new feedback systems. Do you see the difference? The AI can actually compare your 21% improvement to another candidate's 15% improvement. It's rankable data. Here's the sobering reality check from that University of Washington study I mentioned earlier. Researchers tested 3 state-of-the-art AI screening systems from different companies. They submitted over 550 real resumes with only one thing changed: the names. Some resumes had names associated with white candidates, others had names associated with black candidates. The results? The AI systems favored white associated names 85% of the time. They favored male associated names 52% of the time versus female names at just 11%. And when they looked at the intersection of race and gender, black male candidates were never favored over white male candidates. Not once. Now, I'm not sharing this to be depressing. I'm sharing it because you need to understand what you're up against. These systems have biases. They're not perfectly objective, but here's what you can control: making sure your qualifications, your skills, and your achievements are so clearly quantified and keyword optimized that you score high despite the system's flaws. It's not fair, but knowing the game lets you play it better. Change number 2 is something that would have been unthinkable 10 years ago. Your degree is mattering less, and your actual skills are mattering more. According to multiple studies, 45% of companies are expected to drop degree requirements for key roles in 2026. Not entry-level positions, key roles. The ones that used to absolutely require a bachelor's degree or sometimes even a master's. Companies like Google, Apple, IBM, and Microsoft have already eliminated degree requirements for lots of their positions. IBM's new collar jobs don't require a 4-year degree. They require the right skills. And the data backs this up. LinkedIn's 2024 workforce report found that 75% of HR professionals believe skills-based hiring is the future of recruitment. But why is this happening? Let me tell you about Sarah. She's a composite of several real people that I've talked to. Sarah graduated with a degree in marketing in 2018. It cost her $80,000 in student loans. By 2024, everything she learned about social media marketing was outdated. Instagram Reels didn't exist when she was in school. TikTok wasn't a marketing platform. AI content creation just wasn't even a thing. Meanwhile, her coworker Marcus taught himself digital marketing through YouTube, Coursera, and actually by doing it. Running campaigns for small businesses as a side hustle. No degree, but he knew the current platforms, the current strategies, and the current tools. When their company hired for a senior social media role, guess who got it? Marcus. This is happening across every industry. The World Economic Forum estimates that 50% of all employees will need reskilling by 2026 just to keep up with technological changes. Universities take 4 years to grant a degree. A YouTube course takes, 4 hours? A coding boot camp takes 12 weeks. Companies can't wait for the traditional pipeline anymore. Plus, and this is huge, according to McKinsey's research, companies using skills-based hiring increased their talent pool diversity by 45% and saw retention rates improve by 35%. When you hire on ability instead of credentials, you tap into people who took non-traditional paths but have exactly what you need. So how do you position yourself in this skills-based job market? Strategy one, create a dedicated skills section. Do not bury your skills in job descriptions. Have a prominent core competencies or technical skills section near the top of your resume. Break it into categories: technical skills, tools and platforms, soft skills. Make them scannable at a glance. Strategy two, back every skill anyone can write excellent communicator on their resume. Instead, prove it. Delivered 15 plus presentations to C-suite executives, resulting in approval for $2.3 million in project funding. That's not just communication, that's communication with impact. Strategy three, pursue micro credentials. You know what's exploding right now? Google certificates, AWS certifications, HubSpot Academy, Meta Blueprint, LinkedIn Learning credentials. These signal to employers that your skills are current, verified, and specific. And unlike degrees, you can earn them in weeks, not years. According to Test Genius data, 81% of U.S. employers now use skills-based hiring, up from just 57% in 2022. That's a 42% increase in just a couple of years. The trend is unmistakable. Let me give you a real example that perfectly illustrates this shift. Do you remember when Elon Musk tweeted back in 2020 that a college degree is not required at Tesla? People thought he was just being provocative. But then IBM launched their New Collar Initiative even earlier. That was back in 2016. They stopped requiring degrees for certain technical roles, and instead they focused on candidates with demonstrable skills in cloud computing, AI, cybersecurity, skills you could learn through boot camps, certifications, and self-study. The result? Within 3 years, IBM saw a 25% increase in talent pipeline diversity. They found candidates who never would have applied before, people from non-traditional backgrounds, people who couldn't afford college, people who learned differently but had exactly the skills IBM needed. And here's the kicker. Those skills-based hires perform just as well as, and in some cases better than, traditional degree holders in the same roles. Why? Because they learn skills to solve problems, not just to pass tests. And this isn't some fringe experiment anymore. This is becoming the standard. If you're still leading with your degree and relegating your skills to a footnote, you're using the old playbook in a new game. Change number 3 is all about proof. Your resume is no longer a standalone document. It's a gateway to your digital presence. Portfolio links, LinkedIn URLs, personal websites, even QR codes are becoming standard elements of modern resumes. According to resume trend analysis from multiple sources, adding LinkedIn and portfolio links is now one of the top trends for 2025 and beyond. But here's what makes this critical. Hiring managers are spending just 7.4 seconds on their initial resume scan. That's it, 7.4 seconds. They don't have time to imagine what your work looks like. They need to see it really fast. Think about how you shop on Amazon, right? You don't just read the product description. You click through the photos, you watch the video demo, you scroll through customer reviews showing the product in action. You want proof that this thing does what it claims. Hiring managers are the same way now. They've been burned too many times by resumes that sound amazing, but the person can't actually deliver. So they want to see your work. This is especially true for creative fields. Think design, writing, marketing, video production, but it's spreading everywhere. Developers show their GitHub repositories. Project managers show their Trello boards or completed project timelines. Even accountants are creating case studies of process improvements that they've implemented. And here's something fascinating. Fast Company reported that candidates using video resumes are seeing response rates improve. Platforms like TikTok even piloted a hashtag TikTok resumes program where you could submit short video applications. Why? Because in 60 seconds of video, an employer can assess your communication skills, personality, creativity, and passion in ways that text simply can't. So how do you actually implement this? Strategy 1, optimize your LinkedIn like it's part of your resume, because it is. Put your LinkedIn URL in your resume header right below your phone number and email, but don't just link to a bare bones profile. Make sure that your LinkedIn profile has a professional headshot, compelling headline that isn't just your job title, something that actually shows your value, a detailed about section that tells your professional story, recommendations from colleagues and managers, examples of your work in posts, articles, or the featured section. Strategy 2, create a digital portfolio. You don't need to be a web designer to do this. So platforms like Wix or Squarespace for general professionals, or Behance or Dribble for designers, GitHub for developers, Medium or Contently for writers, make it really easy to showcase your work. Create 3 to 5 case studies of your best projects with before and after metrics. And also check out Vibe Coding. There are really cool platforms like Lovable where anybody can go in and create a really fast website. Strategy 3, add a QR code for easy access. So this is becoming trendy for a reason. It works. You can generate a QR code for free that links directly to your portfolio or LinkedIn. Place it in the corner of your resume. When someone prints or views your resume, they can scan it instantly to see more. It's actually pretty cool. Here's a real-world example. I know a graphic designer named Jen who was applying to creative agencies. Her resume was good. It listed her experience at previous agencies, mentioned the types of projects she'd worked on, but she was one of dozens applying to each role. And then she added a QR code to her resume that linked to a personal website she built in one weekend using Squarespace. On that site, she had a video walkthrough of her design process, 4 after examples of rebrand projects, client testimonials, a downloadable portfolio. Her interview rate went from about 5% to over 40% pretty much overnight. Why? Because hiring managers could instantly see that she not only said she could design brand identities, she could prove it in about 30 seconds of scanning a QR code and watching a video. That's the power of digital proof. Don't make employers imagine what you can do. Show them. Change number 4 might be the most immediately actionable. You need to quantify everything on your resume. Not most things, not the big achievements, everything. According to High Five Test's compilation of resume stats, resumes with hard metrics have up to a 40% higher chance of securing an interview. That's almost double the chances just by adding some numbers. Why are numbers so powerful? 2 reasons. First, numbers are specific. Specificity signals competence. Think about it. If someone says, I'm pretty good at basketball, you don't really know what that means. But if they say, I averaged 18 points and 7 assists per game, well, now you can actually evaluate their skill level. Resumes work the same way. Second, and more importantly, AI screening systems rank candidates based on quantifiable achievements. Remember, 83% of companies are using AI screening now. That AI is comparing your resume to hundreds of others. If you say improved sales, the AI has no way to rank you. But if you say increased sales by 34% in Q3, well, now the AI can compare your 34% to another candidate's 28% and rank you higher. Numbers make you rankable. In a world where algorithms decide who makes the first cut, being rankable is being hireable. Here's the formula I want you to use for every single bullet point. Accomplished X as measured by Y by doing Z. Let me break that down. X is the achievement or the result. Y is the specific metric or number, and Z is the action you took. Let's practice with some before and after examples. Before, managed social media. After, grew Instagram following by 285% from 2.3K to 8.9K followers in 4 months through strategic content calendar focused on user-generated content and engagement tactics. Before, led a team of developers. After, managed 8-person development team delivering 12 product features ahead of schedule, resulting in 22% faster time to market and $1,000 in cost savings. Before, improved customer service. After, increased customer satisfaction scores from 3.8 to 4.6 stars, a 21% improvement, by implementing weekly team training and redesigned response templates. Do you see how much more impressive the second versions are? It's the same accomplishments, but now they're quantified, specific, and rankable. I want to share a really quick case study that illustrates this perfectly. A friend of mine, his name is David, was a marketing manager applying for senior roles. His original resume had bullets like managed marketing campaigns, increased brand awareness, collaborated with sales team, generic, right? So he applied to 60 positions over 3 months and he got 2 interviews, both rejected. Then he went through his resume line by line and quantified everything. Managed 15 plus integrated marketing campaigns with $2.3 million total budget, achieving average ROI of 340% across email, social, and paid channels. Increased brand awareness by 67% as measured by unaided brand recall surveys, from 24% to 41% among target demographics. Same person, same experience, just quantified. He applied to 30 more positions, got 11 interviews, landed 3 offers. The numbers told the story of his impact in a way that adjectives never could. And finally, change number 5 is the one everybody's talking about, but few people are navigating correctly. AI-assisted resume writing. Here's the paradox you need to understand. 47% of college seniors are using AI tools like ChatGPT to write their resumes. It's widespread, it's easy, it's tempting. But, and this is crucial, 53% of hiring managers say AI-generated content is their biggest red flag when reviewing resumes. And according to Fast Company's reporting, 74% of hiring managers can spot a resume that was fully generated by AI. So we have this weird tension. Everyone's using AI, but using it wrong makes you look worse, not better. So why is this happening? Because AI writing has tells. It sounds smooth, sometimes almost too smooth, and it uses really specific phrases like dynamic professional, proven track record, results-driven leader, passionate about excellence. These phrases aren't bad per se, but when AI generates your entire resume, it creates this homogenized corporate speak document that sounds exactly like 200 other AI-generated resumes the hiring manager just read. Humans can smell generic from a mile away. And here's what hiring managers told Resume Genius in their survey. AI-generated resumes feel generic, overly repetitive, inauthentic, and sometimes a misrepresentation of the candidate's actual qualifications. Think about that last part. Misrepresentation. AI doesn't know your actual stories. It can't inject the specific details that make your experience unique. It can't capture your voice, your personality, your particular approach to problem solving. Only you can do that. So how do you use AI effectively without falling into that trap? Strategy 1, use AI for structure, not substance. Let AI help you with creating a clean template, ensuring consistent formatting, suggesting action verbs to vary your language, identifying missing keywords from the job description, but you write the actual achievements. You add these specific numbers, and you tell the real stories. Strategy 2, the 70-30 rule. 70% of your resume should be uniquely yours. Specific projects, unique metrics, particular challenges only you faced. 30% can be AI optimized, like structure, formatting, keyword optimization. Strategy 3, add personality markers. These are details that only you would know to include. Specific tools or methodologies that you used, like implemented Agile using Jira with custom sprint workflows. Names of projects or initiatives, so led the Phoenix redesign project. Unique challenges that you overcame, pivoted strategy mid-campaign when iOS 14 update eliminated third-party tracking. These specific details signal a real human wrote this based on real experience. Let me show you the difference. The AI-generated version would sound something like this. Dynamic marketing professional with a proven track record of developing and executing successful digital campaigns. Passionate about leveraging data-driven insights to optimize performance and drive results across multiple channels. The human authentic version, when Instagram changed its algorithm in March 2023 and take to our organic reach by use AI as your assistant, like an editor or a formatting tool, but never let it be your ghostwriter. Because the hiring managers who matter, they can tell. According to the data, 2% say they're more likely 62% say they're more likely to reject resumes that feel uncustomized or AI generated. Don't be part of that 62%. All right, let's wrap this up. We just covered the 5 biggest changes coming to resumes in 2026. Changes that are honestly already here. Change number 1, AI screening dominance. 83% of companies are using AI gatekeepers, which means you need strategic keyword optimization, TS-friendly formatting, and quantified achievements to even get seen. Change number 2, skills over degrees. 45% of companies are dropping degree requirements because they care more about what you can do than where you studied. Change number 3, portfolio links and digital proof. Your resume is now a gateway to your work, not the work itself. So LinkedIn, portfolios, QR codes, show, don't tell. Change number 4, quantified everything. Numbers are non-negotiable now. Every achievement needs a metric because AI systems rank you based on specific comparable data. Change number 5, AI assisted but human authentic. Everyone's using AI, but 74% of hiring managers can spot fully AI generated resumes. Use AI as a tool, not a replacement for your authentic story. These aren't future trends. This is happening right now. And the gap between people who adapt and people who don't is widening fast. Here's what I want you to do immediately after watching this video. Open your current resume. Look at it with fresh eyes through the lens of these 5 changes and ask yourself, would this get past an AI screening system? Do I have a prominent skills section with proof? Are my portfolio and LinkedIn linked? Does every single bullet point have a number? Does this sound like me or like a ChatGPT template? If you answered no to any of those, you know exactly what to fix first. And if you want a deeper dive into actually implementing these changes step by step, like how to optimize for specific ATS systems, how to build a portfolio in a weekend, or how to extract quantifiable achievements from roles where you didn't track metrics, drop a comment below telling me which change you're tackling first. I read every single comment and I'm planning follow-up videos based on what you actually need. Make sure you subscribe because the job market is changing fast, and staying ahead of these trends is literally the difference between getting interviews and getting ignored. Thanks for watching. Now go update that resume. You got this.